Hey there everybody, I'm your host Wyatt. Welcome back to the channel. Freddy Krueger is currently trapped in a legal nightmare, and two Hollywood giants racing to put him back on the big screen. And this isn't just your standard race for a remake. It's a tug of war for the entire Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. And we're talking about Paramount Pictures versus Warner Brothers. So let's break down where the battle lines are actually drawn. Paramount wants a total ground-up reboot. And honestly, they're holding a massive card here. They have the rights to Wes Craven's original 1984 script. But on the other hand, Warner Brothers basically holds the keys to the entire kingdom. They control the international rights, but more importantly, they control the sequel rights. And honestly, if you ask me, Warner Brothers holds a massive and completely unfair advantage. Now don't get me wrong, the original Nightmare on Elm Street is an absolute masterpiece. And it's my personal favorite in the entire franchise, because it's completely unapologetic for its intense atmosphere. But let's be totally real here about horror history for a second. The original film did make Freddy a hit, but it was the sequels that made him a pop culture icon. I'm talking specifically about three films: Nightmare Part 3, The Dream Warriors, Nightmare Part 4, The Dream Master, and Nightmare Part 5, The Dream Child. Sure, the first movie was a big hit and made plenty of money, but Dream Master went on to become the biggest moneymaker of the entire franchise during its original run. And Robert Englund himself famously called Nightmare Part 4 the MTV Nightmare movie. And he was spot on with that. It perfectly captured youth culture at that time, with wild and imaginative dream sequences, a young, energetic cast, a fresh director, and a killer hip soundtrack. It traded in the bleak dread tone of the original for a vibrant and, more importantly, fun roller coaster aesthetic. And I say to Warner Brothers out there, this is exactly where you guys need to strike. You shouldn't just make a standard sequel. You need to unleash the ultimate horror experiment, something I'm calling sequel squared movies. I'm talking about direct, literal sequels to our most favorite sequels in the entire franchise. Just think about the story potential if you did this. Each entry in the Sequel Squared trilogy could have its own unique identity. First up, you drop A Nightmare on Elm Street, The Dream Warriors, Part 2. You make this the darker and more intense film of the three movies. You lean heavily into the Gothic institutional horror in Weston Hill's Asylum, dealing with a new group of kids just trying to survive. And from there, you transition into Dream Master Part 2. In this one, you bring back that peak, loud pop culture energy. And it easily needs to be the hippest movie in the trilogy. Just packed to the brim with wild set pieces. An incredible soundtrack, with that retro 80s, 90s MTV vibe as well. Then you round out the whole experience with Dream Child Part 2. This one takes a much more mature approach, diving deep into psychological terror, legacy, and those complex, heavy themes of adulthood and motherhood that were originally introduced in the fifth film. By mapping out the new trilogy this way, Warner Brothers bypasses all the reboot fatigue. We already got the dark, ultra-serious, gritty reboot of 2010, and nobody liked it. It has no fan base. Why try to remake a story we've already seen fail to recapture that magic? Plus, trying to find an actor that can match the same terrifying vibe of Robert Englund in the original 1984 film? That's gonna be impossible. But matching the vibe of MTV Freddy? That's much more simpler, way more entertaining, and a wildly successful formula to pull off. If Warner Brothers leans into these sequel rights and crafts these new squared sequels in the exact spirit of the original Dream Trilogy, audiences are going to show up in droves. Modern moviegoers want a fun and spectacular Freddy back on the big screen. They want crazy dreamscapes, they want crazy set pieces, and they want the massive personality of Freddy back. Now Paramount might hold the history, but Warner Brothers has the exact blueprint for what audiences want to see back on the big screen. Warner Brothers needs to find their new Freddy Krueger right now, and they should lean into this sequel squared concept. Warner Brothers needs to make a sequel Dream Trilogy. Oh, funny thought just popped in my head. I bet you when this whole legal argument thing is done and we find out who the clear winner is, everybody who does videos on YouTube, the first thing is going to be the clip of Freddy going, "It's great to be back in business." Watch. Fucking watch.